died. And they wouldn't have been praying when Elijah went to Mount Carmel and faced off against the prophets of Baal and Ashtoreth. So God, many times, positions us in less than ideal positions because his will, amidst it, needs to still be carried out. And if I'm going to sit waiting for the perfect broadcast, for the perfect this, for the perfect, I'm going to be waiting an awfully long time because there is nothing perfect. But the Lord will position us sometimes in very imperfect situations so that he can be glorified, because his strength is made perfect in our weakness. So in the middle of an imperfect situation, his glory can shine through. His will can shine through. His power can shine through. In the middle of brokenness, and is when God can do the most delivering. Somebody that's broken is when the Lord demonstrates his power the most. So I don't look for ideal situations. I actually expect the Lord to send me into less than ideal situations, into imperfect situations, into situations that I may not deem the best. I actually expect it because that's where God needs to be glorified. That's where people need to be touched. That's where people need to be ministered to. We just did the prayer and baptisms in an athletic center in Frisco, Texas. And you want to know the sad part? The Spirit of the Lord moved more in that athletic center than it did in some of the churches that we have done it in along the way. The Spirit of the living God was more present in an athletic center. You know why? Because that athletic center, even though tons of people go there and a lot of them are believers, let go of complete control and just let us do what we needed to do. Some of these churches that we've been in have wanted to control it within an inch of its life and snuff out the Holy Spirit. And the Spirit of the Lord moved more in the athletic center. And I'm not saying that's sad. I'm saying, you know what? The church has left the building at this point. And if we don't go into the towns and the cities and the squares and the situations that are less than ideal, because an athletic center, people would think, isn't the most ideal situation to hold prayer and baptisms, but there was more power of God moving in that athletic center than I have seen. So I don't go in with a preconceived notion. I go in saying, Lord, let your will be done. This may not be ideal in the eyes of man, but in God's eyes, this may be the perfect situation for him to be glorified. So we have to think about that, because it is very easy to sit there and judge when you are not in the middle of what that person is in the middle of, when you are not orchestrating what that person is orchestrating, when you are not going through what that person is. It's very easy for you to armchair quarterback. But if you were thrown into the middle of that same situation, you may fall flat on your face. This is why you have to be careful and have compassion for what people are going through. Now, yes, you have to have standards, okay? I'm not telling you to enable something, and I'm not telling you to align with something that you are not, let's say, comfortable with, okay? Like I wouldn't be comfortable aligning with some things. I've seen some things as we're vetting businesses or other things that have not made me comfortable. And in my spirit, I wasn't settled about it. And that's where I just say I have to step back and pray, because sometimes the reason why I'm not settled may not be all bad. It may have to do with timing. So the wisest thing I can do is to step back and pray. And this is what you have to do right now. You have to step back and pray and let the Lord show you, because he may surprise you. And he may turn what you think on its head right now. You know, you've got people that suffer the horrificness of those tornadoes, and they have nothing right now. And you know what? They don't care about what's on social media right now. They don't care, about who's doing this and who's doing that. They are grateful to God that they escaped with their lives. And we get caught up sometimes in the day to day. And sometimes we have to take a step back. And we have to ask the Lord. Like I like to decorate, right? So last night I said to the Lord, because I thought, well, let me ask the Lord about this. Because prophetic people by nature are very creative people. I can draw. Not many people know that, but I can draw. Now, we're creative by nature because we have to visualize something before it is. Okay. So that creativity in us harnesses very well towards the prophetic because it's the same thing, just in a different way. So I said to the Lord, I said, Lord, is it a bad thing that I decorate? Because, I have these conversations with the Lord. I talked to him about a lot of things you would be on the floor hysterical about, going, I can't believe she's talking to the Lord about that. But you know what? He would rather have us go to him and talk to him about it and have that closeness and that trust than us tickle his ears. So I asked him that. And this was his response to me very clearly. He said, my daughter, all of heaven is decorated with the splendor that man cannot even fathom. That was his answer to me.